press conference underway right now. We have folks from Washington University with head coach Rich Ludeman. We have Lauren Buddy, and we also have Drew Hargrave. So, Coach Ludeman, how about an opening statement of how you thought the match went from start to finish?
Well, I thought our serving game was absolutely outstanding. Forced a lot of their balls to their left side, and then we, of course, defended very, very well and transitioned after that. So the biggest key was our serving game.
And it seems to me also Kelly Pang seems, as far as being a libero is concerned, sometimes those players just kind of dig to just save the possession, but she actually has the ability to not only get the ball up, but to certain players like Drew and Lauren for scoring opportunities.
Well, certainly, Kelly, in my mind, is the premier libero in Division III and one of the top in volleyball in America today. She reads incredibly well, moves low, has a great platform, puts the ball right on target. Easily the best digger I've had. In our finals match at regional, she had 31 digs in a 3-set match. At 10 digs a set. That's incredible. But of course, what we do is we try to force the ball to her when teams are swinging. We want the ball hit to her, and she picks it up.
Also, what struck me with the way your team moves, that you don't get caught watching the fly of the ball. Everybody's got a role to where when they're finished with their part of the play, they're back in position, so there's no holes. I thought that was pretty impressive. There was no Achilles heel or hole they could really operate against you tonight.
We have a lot of quick folks in the back row. The average height is about 4'3", but they're pretty quick in the back row, and we really are pleased, well, except for Lauren. And we're really pleased with our foot speed back, our ability to cover a lot of ground. And we realize that we're not the strongest blocking team in America, so we have to make up for back row play. I talk about Lauren here. Lauren is one of the very few middle blockers in America that play 6 rotations and passes six times, and that's almost an unheard of thing anymore.
Well, Lauren, how about we'll start with you, and then we'll get to Drew and her comment. But talk about the team's preparation after you won the regional final, and you had 2 teams potentially that you would face. Now you've played New York University, now you play Emory. So what was the preparation like? What were your teammates thinking as you headed toward today?
We definitely just thought about taking everything one game at a time. That's kind of been the attitude all week, and everybody was really, really excited just because of the fact that we're on our own court, home court. We knew we were going to have fans here supporting us, and I think that definitely helped pump us up even more and be intense the entire match.
Drew, is that a factor? The crowd, even though New York University obviously has come here in the past, they know the crowd's going to be that lively. Is that still a factor, you think, that helps you quite a bit and hurts them a lot?
Yeah, the crowd was amazing. I walked in and the noise was incredible. It really pumped me up.
Question. You guys have played, this is your 3rd match against New York University this year. How was this match different from the other 2? I know there were some people injured in the first one, but maybe focus more on the most recent match you had with them.
I think probably the biggest factor was we knew what their tendencies were. We knew how we could force them again to only have one option when they attack, and then we defended that quite well. They didn't have a big left side attacker, so we knew that we could dig around her and just set up a solid block. So again, we picked up their tendencies. We spent probably about 15 hours just watching their DVDs and breaking them down, and getting their nuances of their offense and defense.
Further on the ladies, are you surprised by how much they wilted that 3rd game? I mean, how easy you guys had it?
I was surprised, but we definitely brought a lot of fire, and I think that fire that we had tonight is enough to kind of knock any team down to that level.
All right, press conference continues with New York University. We have Chris Pinto, the head coach, along with Kendall Dunn and Mina Bateman. So, Coach, we'll give you a chance to offer a statement. That was a tough match to go through. Before that, let's talk about the preparation that you had. You had a 5-set match in regionals to get here. How did the preparation go before tonight?
I thought preparation for us back at home was great. I would have liked to see a little bit tougher competition in our region to prepare going into Wash. Coming here obviously was tough to be in front of their home crowd and on their home court. It's always a challenge. But I'm proud of my girls for fighting through the season and getting to our ultimate goal, which was to get here.
Yeah, is it when you play in the UAA and then, as you say, there's I guess maybe it's a bit of a lull with regards to competition. Did that kind of hamstring you a little bit, or?
A little bit, region-wise, we're not the toughest region, so we try and go out of region as much as possible to play some of the better teams. This year, we took our first match off of Wash the first time we played them. So, conference-wise, it's really Wash and Emory that are our two biggest competition.
In the first set, let's talk about that. You had a point where about midway through you were still tied at 11, and what turned the tide? What kind of things happened that led to that first set getting away from you?
I would say our passing probably broke down a little bit. We had a tough time trying to side out. They have a pretty good block going, so we had a tough time trying to get a side out.
Yeah, because they played pretty well at the net. It seemed like they had pretty strong blocking tonight, so it was very tough to get things going. Mina, can you talk about that a little bit, because it must be frustrating that you're running your sets and everything to the way you think they should be, but with a strong opponent at the net, it's just doubly tough to get things rolling.
Wash U always, since I was a freshman, has always prided themselves in being the most disciplined team, whether it's blocking, defense, attacking, and especially in that one side-out rotation. I believe their setter was back serving, and we had me in the front row and two hitters. And they had a very solid three-hitter block. And yeah, it is frustrating, but it's kind of a challenge trying to think of how can we get around it, or at least have a hole in the block, try to get our hitters some sort of advantage. But again, they were very disciplined, like they always are, and